guys, in the fast lane here. In this video, I'm going to explain what could cause a vehicle not to crank. Specifically, Honda Accord, Civic, Acura, Integra, pretty much. So I got a question from one of my subscribers. He states, it's not cranking. In the morning, for example, the engine is cold. Then if turn the key on and start the engine immediately, it doesn't. I need to wait 3 to 4 seconds, but sometimes it doesn't start just after it gets cold again. Generally, when I ride for up to 50 miles, you think it's the starter. Can you post a video explaining it, please? Well, I heard your comment, and I'm going to go ahead and post a video. So here's the 3 things that I think could possibly be your problem. 1 is going to be the relay, the starter relay. 2 is going to be the starter solenoid. And 3 is going to be the ignition switch. I'll put the how-to link in the description of this video. Also, for the diagram, the fuse schematics, and yeah, pretty much the fuse schematics for the relay and the fuse. I'll put that in the website, and I'll put it under the About Me section. So let me show you where it's at. Number 1, the starter solenoid. Here's your starter sitting on the side of the transmission, and this guy right here with this remote wire is your starter solenoid. Also, another thing would be to check while we're here is make sure your grounds are hooked up good. This is obviously the positive, but what I'm getting at is the grounds around the vehicle. Those can pretty much short out and cause not to get a good ground, and the starter won't kick on when you turn the key. Also, your remote wire right here, it could be loose. I've had it happen. I've actually had my remote wire come out. Got in the car after it was driving and parked it, got back in, wouldn't start, nothing. Didn't even hear it click, and the remote wire was hanging out. So I plugged it in, fired right up. So this is your starter solenoid. I'm going to zoom in real quick just so you can get an idea. Most people will, instead of replacing the solenoid, they'll just replace the entire starter. But with a B-Series motor, it's kind of hard to come by the starters, OEM at least. Here's what you're looking at. It's just this unit right here on the side. And right here, this guy right here, this is actually your starter. So this is the solenoid, and this is your starter. As for the starter relay, that's going to be right here on the side. You don't take this panel off, you can't really get to it, but it's going to be all the way up under here. And I'll put a little diagram or schematic in the About Me section, and it'll be a link going to my website to show you where to locate it. Also, the fuse for the starter, that's going to be underneath the kick panel under here too. So it's all in this location, and you kind of got to go under there. When you pull this panel off, it's just going to be just pretty much a metal frame to hold the dash in. You're not really going to see anything. Very possibly, there could be a bolt to the backside that takes that relay off, but I haven't had to take one off yet because my starter hasn't had any relay problems. But that's where I would first look. And lastly, the ignition switch module. So we come down here, and right where you put your key, this mechanism right here, it's all going to come out. It bolts onto the steering column, and I have a video how to replace or remove ignition switch module. So I'll put that in the About Me section also. But what happens is you turn the key, it's not making contact. Maybe it's hot or cold, like you were saying, and it's just not starting. I actually had a problem where I was driving, and every time I would get into boost, it sounded like detonation. It would be like ba 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 ba, and I was like, it almost sounded like two-step when I would floor it. It was wide open throttle, and come to find out, my key was rattling, and it was kind of wiggling in and out under the boost. The tires, you know, spinning and jumping, and it was killing the ignition. So that very well could be your problem also.